Okay, so today we're going to talk about Leonard's Bakery in Kapahulu and the very popular Malasadas, and I'm joined here by my wife, and we're going to talk about whether or not it's worth it. So I grew up in Hawaii my whole life, and so I've eaten Malasadas a lot, but my wife is new to Hawaii, and so I think we bring two different perspectives, one from someone who grew up here and someone who is new to Hawaii, and I think can bring more of a visitor's or a tourist perspective. So we're going to talk about location, ordering, price, and taste in that order, and I think all of those are really important in trying to figure out whether it's worth it to go and buy a malasada. So what is a malasada? It's basically a Portuguese pastry. It's like fried dough with like sugar on top of it. Sometimes there's filling on the inside, but it's really popular among local people, and it's very popular like when you go to someone's office and you want to give them, like, instead of donuts, you just buy them malasadas. So first let's talk about location and where it is. So it's on Kapahulu Avenue, which is kind of a busy place to go. There's a really big sign, so you're probably not going to miss it. It also has lights, so in case it's at night, you're probably going to see Leonard's Bakery. One of the drawbacks is that parking is pretty limited. I'd say there's like maybe about 10 stalls, and most of them are going to be filled up with people. But the good thing is that because you're just going in and out, most people just grab their malasadas or their pastries and then they leave. So there's a lot of turnover, so if you just kind of hang tight, you might get lucky and get a parking spot. If not, I guess you can park in the neighborhood and walk there. There's also malasada trucks across the island where you can buy Leonard's Bakery, but
I know there are two places at
Yeah.
least. One in Waikele Outlet, and one is in Hawaii.
yeah.
But I think
There's probably some more around, but what do you think about those?
I guess it's just convenient to have those trucks around, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the actual place and buy the malasada.
Yeah.
Because the queue is like, could be long sometimes, and if you want to just grab it quickly and then, you know, while you go shopping and stuff, I mean, it's a good snack to grab and buy.
Alright, so now the ordering process. So we've been there like twice in the past month, I think. The first time it was pretty good. Like, we parked and then we got in the store, and there were maybe like 4 or 5 people there. But then by the time we got to the front counter, the line had gone out the door. And then the second time we went, it was pretty much out the door when we got there. So I don't know, wait time was like how long? Yeah, 15-20 minutes, and we just ordered 2, so I don't know, like, if you order a lot, it's gonna be more, like, longer time, but it was quite a wait for just 2 donuts.
But once you order, it took a long time to get the order and get it paid.
Yeah.
But then once that order is gone, I mean, it just takes about 5 minutes or so to get your malasada. So I don't think it was that bad, but just the queue to order and pay was the long process.
Yeah.
So after they take your order and you get a receipt, and on the receipt, I don't think we have a picture, but on the receipt, it gives you the number. So the ladies, they will call your number when it's ready. So just be attentive, and then just wait for your number to be called.
So in terms of price, it's, I think, fairly cheap. I think it was $1.65 or
something like that. Less than $2.
Yeah, it's about $1.50, so it's really not that bad for one malasada. And I think the more you buy, I think you can get, like, it gets a little bit cheaper the more that you buy. But I think in terms of relative to other donuts, I guess donuts, like, if you go to like another store, maybe like 50 cents to $1. So I think it's pretty comparable in terms of price, especially because this is sort of a specialty pastry.
Well, for a donut, right?
Yeah.
$1 from less than $2. I think it was worth it in a way. It was freshly made too.
Yeah.
So
it's probably one of the cheaper things, I think.
Yeah.
that you can
buy in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's like famous. So price-wise, I think it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the taste. And I think a lot of people, pretty much, they say it's really good, especially if you get like filling. Sometimes people like that. But I would say that when I was on the mainland away from Hawaii, I don't think malasadas, it wasn't one of the foods that I was craving. Like, there were other foods that I really liked, but not really malasadas, because it's basically just a donut. However, I do recommend that if you get a malasada, try to get one that's warm, because the warm ones are way better than just the cold ones. So what do you think about the taste?
Oh, I loved it. I think because the first time when I had malasada, since I moved here was when we went to the Christmas parade thing that they had the Leonard truck outside. So he bought it for me and brought it back. But when I ate it, I mean, we just lived like 5 minutes away from there. Yeah, the malasada itself was already cold, and then it was kind of not soggy, but it's like it wasn't fresh. So I was like, when I had it, I don't know. I just didn't. I remember it was like, I don't think that was the taste that I used to eat.
Yeah.
But then when we went back there, and then it was so good. Like it was so fresh. It was just. They were just meat out from the oven or whatever, the grill or whatever. And then the outside was crispy, yet the dough inside was so soft. Well, I got the fillings, the flavor of the month, which is my favorite. It's like what the flavor was that? Oh, the mango. The mango is my favorite fruit. So it's like, heaven in my mouth. So I loved it. I think it was so good. It was. Although the line was long, but it was like so worth it.
However, I do want to mention something related to taste, and it's how you eat a malasada. So if you've never eaten a malasada, you got to be careful about the mess that you're going to make. So if you get the malasada and you try to eat it in the car, be prepared for sugar everywhere. Just the sugar will get all over your clothes, all over the car. So I think for most of us, when we eat it outside, so the sugar falls on the ground, so you don't have to worry about it. Or I guess if you eat it like in the office, you have to eat it over like the plate, or sometimes I eat it over the trash can, because it's just like the sugar gets everywhere and it can get kind of messy. So just a heads up, this is not really a food that you want to be eating in a car unless you're going to vacuum after, because it can get really, really messy.
And also when you eat, make sure you have a bottle of water, and also it will have a wipe so that you could clean your hands after, because your hands going to be all like sugary and like sticky, and yeah, it's not gonna be pleasant.
All right, so finally, is it worth it? And for me, I would say no, it's not worth it. And again, unless you've never tried a fried piece of dough, I guess it's okay. But if it were me and I had only a limited time here on Oahu, I'd probably go and try other foods. If there's a malasada truck somewhere, then, you know, if the line is short or you're just kind of out, maybe that might be worth it to me. But I think it's a big commitment to go all the way down there and buy it. And I mean, you could take like 30 minutes or more. If you have the time, that's great. But I think if you have limited time, I don't think it's worth it. But that's just me, because I grew up here.
I think it's worth it. As malasada, as one of the like famous food to eat in Hawaii. And then I mean, it's not too far from a Waikiki too. I mean, if you have a car, I mean, you can just go there. Well, if you gotta take a bus, then it might take a little bit longer, but still, although the line may be long, but then they give you a fresh donut basically, and then it's like, I think it's worth it. It's a little bit different from the donuts that we have in Japan, usually, because they don't really give you the fresh made donuts. So and then with fillings, like for the flavors of filling, they have like custard, haupia, which is like the coconut, what they get, dovash, the chocolate one.
Yeah.
And they also have macadamia nuts. I love the macadamia nuts. Those are like the four fillings that they usually have, and they have the flavor of the month. By the way, the flavor of the month for the May is pineapple. I want to go try it, but he's not willing to take me, so I gotta go by myself. But anyway, I don't know, I think it's worth it. It's worth it to go and try it at the Kapahulu. Sorry, I'm still new here. Kapahulu, then just get the malasada from the truck, because you can fully guarantee that if you go to the one in Kapahulu, it's freshly made. I think it's worth it.
All right, so let us know if we missed anything in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and aloha.